Alright, it's going to be my final attempt at doing this. I got distracted a lot of times on the other ones. It's a weekly chart. I said this would be the draw on liquidity, but now we have a narrative shift. Trump and she's like, wait, hold on, JK, with the whole tariffs thing. Apparently may have been a misunderstanding, so the market's gapped up. If this is the case, I want to see a weekly wick low form somewhere in this new day opening gap. Maybe we sweep Friday's low and reverse hard. Maybe there's some sort of stupid news that comes out and comes up here. Now, why I think that, so down and then up again. Now, for it to come down here, I want to see this weekly BISI fail to come down to this point. My old target, which for your point of reference is this weekly inefficiency. I want to see this closed below on a weekly time frame. Is that a gap? Probably. That's not. No, I don't want to use that gap. It's very small. Okay. So I want to see this get closed below on a weekly time frame for me to sort of start being bearish towards this low and this target here again. I'm going to leave it on the chart because I think it's like, it's okay, draw on liquidity. And with the information I had last week, it was a good prediction. But this is my prediction for NQ. As for why that is, I will now bring in the seasonality. For October intramonth, that's gold. Go to NQ. There's a free tool. Season X, check it out. It's pretty good. What do you accept? For some parts of it are annoying, but whatever. So October, the Nasdaq tends to put in on all Octobers in the history, which is 40 years of history. We tend to get lows around the 9th to 10th of October, and the 27th of October, and sort of a high on the 21st, and then that high tends to be broken on the 30th, 31st-ish. Okay, now this is sort of the interesting part for me, because this low is the 10th of October. And we're reacting off a discount weekly BISI. So maybe, it's entirely plausible we come down, but it's also very plausible that this low doesn't get broken. Just off of the seasonality alone. That would be a very interesting sort of trade. Maybe, maybe we get some sort of more bearish news of some sort. Everyone panics into this. Maybe we even sweep Friday's low. No idea. Then it reverses back up. But this gap up, this reversal up, tells me that sentiments may be shifting. I want to wait for a weekly inversion below this blue thing before I start calling for lower here, because it's just such a perfect reaction of 50%, which is something I didn't notice last week. I didn't check this. If you like, if the data ranges as well, 20-day IPTA. I guess if 40-day is here, 60-day, 40. I don't really use these. I'm just kind of looking. Maybe it's 40 bars. I'm gonna go 60 bars. See, this is sort of a 60-day IPTA pullback, look back, low. And we've got this confluent weekly BISI unmitigated here. So 20 days away already been satisfied. This is the first time we expect some sort of a reaction. I really need to study this. There's a lot of ICT components. I just kind of stopped studying because I wanted to master one sort of the intraday trading part, but I'm now sort of realizing that it's all part of the big picture. So, in summary, this is sort of what I'm looking for until we get a weekly close or significant movement down below this low. I want to see it come down into this zone and form a weekly wick low at minimum before bouncing. I also want to address gold, which I said timing-wise, I was looking for a top. Now, I watched Jason Shapiro. He's pretty good at the Commitment of Traders report, and he says gold is now crowded long, which means that downside movement would be aggressive and would liquidate people very quickly. Then I sort of combine it with this sort of gold seasonality for October, and we start to realize maybe he might be onto something. Can you just... This is different to what I saw earlier. There we go. Okay, now it's working. Low, and then we get a high on the 10th. Now that is interesting to me because, you know, we got up, that was last week and we've broken this high now. So really any sort of a slowdown, and you can sort of see that October is not necessarily like a bullish month, it's sort of an indecisive month because it closes at the open right here, this opening level, very close to the opening level. So maybe some sort of a high here is on the table for gold, or it's just maybe a slowdown, a consolidation. Would not be surprised in the slightest if we started to see that from gold. Look at the economic calendar. Bank holiday today. Only reason I would consider trading today is because the narrative, and I think the market's emotional after that big sell-off, so maybe we get some good volatility around the New York Open time. Jerome Powell speaking on Tuesday. This is probably going to be the highest impact news driver of the week, unless the US government starts back up again and we get this, in which case this will be it. Honestly, I think the highest impact news drivers this week are not going to be scheduled ones. They're going to be whenever Trump or Xi decide to announce policy changes, deals with China, the US. I don't know. I'm not trying to speak on politics. I'm only trying to speak on market timing. I don't have any idea how to run a country, and neither of them are my countries, so it's not my business. One trick I did learn from a guy called Trader Dank, just eyeballing this. This is my idea right here, and it's confluent with my bias. So he said, pick a big candle and make it your range. And then like this 4 years ago, well before old fucking Romeo, old mate Romeo started parroting about CRT. This is kind of nice with my bias. Kind of confluent with my bias here, using this candle as a range. I like that. And we are, you know, we've gotten a bit of a slowdown, a bit of a pullback, getting some bearish action here. So, I mean, let's see what happens. Let's see where we go down. I want to turn on my regular trading hours indicator as well and hide my drawings. Okay, so Friday closes here. So maybe we do get a gap fill. Let's put the drawings back on. Kind of confluent with 25, the upper quadrant of this new week opening gap here. So yeah, put back on my forecast. This is sort of my base case for the week. Yeah, that about does it, I think. Covered seasonality, covered predictions, covered gold. Maybe have a look at Biddy. Oh, sorry, that's not Biddy, that's F. This is a range. We're also in a seasonally bullish time for Bitcoin. I see this range. I see it's at 50% of the range, and I don't want to take any trades. It's very possible that we come down and fill in, tap into that inefficiency from this wick here, mitigate it some more, but I still remain bullish on Bitcoin. Even though this is a very big sell-off, we're in a bullish time for Bitcoin. The stats say it's bullish. The damn thing's in a massive bull market for however many years. So, whatever. So let's check on the kill zones here. That was London's low. Alrighty, cool. That'll do it for my forecast.